Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 3 of Growing in the Journey of Christ. With me today, I have my lovely lady, my best friend. You guys must know her by now because every time you see me, you see her. But then, this is Lulu.
Hi, lovelies.
She will be telling us about her journey today. And I'm looking forward to asking her questions, okay? Because I just love hearing about it, even though I live with her and I know most of her journey, but there's a part, like most of her life, where I wasn't there, so I would love to know more into that. And also for you guys to know most of what I know and grow from the things that I've grown from when it comes to her, because she's helped me grow. Like her and Star, you guys saw Star in the previous video, are my best friends in Christ in everything, like literally every integrity of my life. So they've helped me grow so much. So I'm excited for them to also help you guys grow in some areas. And yeah, how are you feeling?
It's been a while since I've been on this chair, but I feel good.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this journey that we're embarking on. It's been beautiful. It's been graceful. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good to have you here. And
Thank
I have
you.
her phone for the questions. I know. Okay. My first question for you would be, what? I'm not gonna be soft with you. So I'm gonna start with this question because I feel like it's very important and it's crucial.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what is it that we do as Christians that keeps people away from building a relationship with Christ?
Oh, that is a good question, and I think we've had these conversations before.
Yeah.
Majority of us Christians, what we do to chase people away or not want to be in this journey of Christ is
Yeah.
we're too judgmental.
Yeah.
We forget that just because you didn't go through that person's journey, you had your own. You have your own mistakes. You have your own path. We're not lenient. We're not graceful. The same grace that was given to us by Christ, we don't give it to other people. We make it so hard for people to want God because they look at us and say, if we're going to be like this and have this Christ, so what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, it's what's the point? Because you're not merciful. So we're not representing Christ when we're busy condemning people. So that is our biggest fault yet.
Yeah. I love that very much because it is so true. There are so many things, more especially as a young kid, when you're growing in this journey. If you don't have, lucky enough and blessed enough, we had parents that are Christians, parents that walked us through this. But if we didn't have parents that were grooming us in this journey, and we saw how our neighbors were like, and how these Christian mothers were like, they were very judgmental.
Very.
If you, I'm sure most of you guys know how they are. You know, these people who would say, "Oh, I don't want my kids to be like da da da's kids."
Exactly.
Saying things over people's kids' lives. So yeah, that
bashing them.
Yes, I love that very much. So on to that, like while we're on that, I would also like to know more about your journey, your growth, and like, what would you say made you grow more into this journey? Because I know you've like also been a Christian like for the longest time, and also you've had people walk with you through this. So I would like to hear more about that.
Okay, so how did I grow?
Yes, like your growth in this journey. Yeah.
So we've been graced enough to have parents, like she said, that are children of God, you know, that have always taught us to pray, that has always taught us to lean on God. But leaving the country, I think it's leaving the country, leaving the nest. Now, there is no mom saying go to church. There's no mom saying go and pray, because even the time difference between home South Africa and here is big.
Yeah.
So they can't, when they go pray, call us, go pray. So now you had to come to a point where you realize that, look, the God that my mom was teaching me about, the God that pastor is teaching me about a church, I need him now, you
Yeah.
know. And then you get to learn that you don't need him when it's hard times. You need him even in good times.
Yeah.
When you're happy, that's the first person you're like, oh, thank you, Jesus. You go private prayers and you're like, oh, God, I glorify you. Now, because of the foundation our parents built with us, it is what has now helped us, even when we go astray, because we're young adults, you know, we have gone astray, but it's those teachings that have now brought one back and be like, okay, look, this is how I want my life. This is how my journey I want it to be.
Yeah.
So that reminder puts you correct, man. And I think that's how I've grown.
I like that. So, yeah, moving here is a challenge.
A massive
Moving
challenge.
to a whole different country, you are literally on your own until you give yourself time to realize that you're not on your own, because you have God with you.
Yeah.
You stay feeling alone and on your own for the longest time. Until you realize you're not. And once you find that, like, God secures you in so many things, because coming back to that, I've seen like so many South Africans leave this country and make videos of how horrible it is. I've seen South Africans that are still here and having hard times living in this country. And it's so unfortunate when you see that, because it's like, how I wish you could feel what I'm feeling, how I wish you could understand what I'm understanding, because I've been there so many times where I feel like I'm so alone.
Yeah.
Like, I need my mom, I just need my siblings, I need to be home. But then once you find Jesus at the heart, you feel the comfort, you get to enjoy what's around you, you get to embrace the love that you have here, you get to enjoy the little things that you have here, and you realize how big they are, and you realize how you didn't have all these things when you were back home. You realize how sad you were and miserable you were back home with your parents, with your friends, with your siblings. But then now that you are here, you think those are the things you need for you to be happy again, but it's not. It's not. Actually God that you need. You need Jesus. You need
him. You need him, because this journey, I think that's the hardest decision we ever took.
Yeah.
Leaving home, leaving your parents, going to a different country, not seeing them as you would oftenly see them when you were back home, is hard. I think it's so hard. Like, it's so hard. At our ages, we need our moms.
Yeah.
Our moms still need their moms. You hear our moms still complaining about, I wish my mom was still here.
Yeah.
Now we just, man, it's hard. It is hard. It is painful. But God just makes things better. Because one thing about acknowledging God, you acknowledge where you're coming from.
Yes.
You acknowledge it. You look at where you were coming from, your situation. You didn't just pack your bags and come to America because it was fun. No.
Yeah.
You had to change, and you had to break generational things in your life.
Yep.
And taking that step and coming here is the reason now it's the biggest sacrifice that you had to make, and it's the reason why you're still here.
Yeah.
You know, so having a relationship with Christ, even on hard times, he puts you you in a good place, and he brings good people to you.
Yeah, he gives you peace that makes no sense.
He brings good people to you.
Yes. My next question would be, what's been the thing you lean on when, like, your life gets hard? Because I know, like, what would you say mostly to a Christian that's like, I've prayed and I feel like he's not listening to me. I've said this, I've done this, and I just feel like, where is this God that we're praising? Like, what would you say to a Christian feeling that way? How do you personally deal with the time where you feel like, I am calling unto him, he's not responding? Because honestly speaking, there are times where you speak to the Lord, you say so many things, and you feel like he's not listening. What would you say to a Christian feeling like that?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I would say, hold on, don't let go. The journey is not for the swift, be patient, because no matter how many times you cry, he's not going to answer it at the time that you want him to answer. He's preparing you. Because if you look back, there were things that you cried about before, and he didn't give them at the time that you wanted, because he was preparing you for that time. And I always tell myself that, look, my journey is a message for somebody else. There's no way God is taking me through this, and I'm not going to meet people that I have to tell them, look, I've been there, and this is what God has done. There's a saying that says, your mess is your message. So now we're going through these things. It's not permanent, even though it tarries, but it will surely come to pass. So hold on, man. Don't give up. He's there. He's just with you.
I love that. Yeah. Adding on to that, when it comes to asking for things, I think that the other most important prayer is to pray to God that your desires align with his, because most of the time our desires don't align with his plan, which is why we mostly feel like he's not responding to what we're praying for. It's not that he's not responding, he's just protecting, because sometimes we pray for things that ruin us.
Exactly.
And in so many ways at that particular time, you don't know. How many times have you guys, not me, you guys, how many times have you guys prayed for a partner to be the one? And looking back now,
guilty.
And looking back now, thinking to yourself right now, if you were to marry that person that you were crying to God for, like, where would you be?
Right.
Is that, like, would that have been the person you want to spend the rest of your life with? Is that the life you wanted for yourself? No. But at that time, you felt like God was not answering. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, hold on.
Yeah.
He knows best. Okay. Yeah. I love that. And my other question would be, so when it comes to faith, what role would you say faith plays in your life?
Your faith plays a huge role in my life. It plays a huge role. Like we were speaking about our journey coming from South Africa and here, and how hard that has been. There's a difference when you hope for things to happen, because hope can be frustrated. You know, hoping for something, hoping that somebody knocks it, and then they don't knock. It's like, it's disappointing. Faith is, even when you don't know where something is going to come. You don't even know it's going to come. You just continue standing. Through the journey, like for instance, a lot has happened. The challenges of being here. And faith is the only thing that has kept me sane. Faith is the only thing that I have not encountered depression. Faith is the only thing that you see us still smiling and laughing, that's just faith. We always say it's God. When people say, how are you guys doing it? It's God. It's just the faith we have in God that whatever, through the storms of life, he's there. Whatever you need, he's there. Because in all honesty, if we didn't have faith in him, I don't know where we would be.
That's true.
I cannot imagine.
I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
And I like keeping questions like this for last, because I just need you to think through answering this question. Because it's like, my question is, if there was like a person right now who does not believe, who like in Jesus at all, an atheist, who does not know anything about Jesus. They're willing to hear about it, but they don't know nothing. And they're asking you this question, why Jesus? Because there's Allah, there's, oh, I don't know the other things, but other things. But like there's all these things people worship and praise. Why is it that I should? Why your God? Like why Jesus?
Like you said, there's Allah, there's Buddha, there's everybody. Jesus is the only one who came on earth to die for me.
Yes, you know that, but
Yes.
this person does not.
Okay.
So you're explaining to someone who's blank. They don't have a page.
Okay.
They don't believe there's a Jesus that came on earth and left the tomb empty. They don't believe that. They believe that to be just a fictional story that someone wrote on a book with small words and called it a Bible.
And there are people like that. Hey, there are people that don't know. I would just tell a person, try him, test him. Jesus, listen to this fiction that you think is a fiction, and try it. You know, Jesus is the only man that was brought on earth to die for us. You know, Jesus is the only man that I've called upon in the darkest of times, and he came through. Jesus is the only man that has saved me from myself. Jesus is the only person that loves me and knows me more than I know myself. Jesus is the only man that he has never deserted me. There are things that I've done that I'm not going to share. There are things that I've done that even if my parents knew, maybe they would like give up on the kind of person that you are. They'd be like, what kind of child are you? But Jesus is still saying, I'm here. You know, he gives me chances over chances and chances. And I'm saying, look, try him. This is the love that you will never phantom. You know, when they say that it's, what's that song that I love? That reckless love of God. He loves you recklessly. I'm not going to say, oh, you're going to, when you pray to him, this is going to jump in front of you. You will see those challenges. But trust me that there is no love that you will ever experience on earth that is greater than his, ever.
Amen. I love that response. So you guys hear that, try him, okay?
Yeah.
Try him for yourself. I know most people have church hurt, most people have parent hurt, most people have just like Christianity hurt, because Christians say a lot of things that are not nice to people. Christians do so many things that are not Christ-like, which is very sad. So just like build your own personal relationship with him, try him, okay?
Try him.
Thank you so much, Lulu.
Thank you, my love.
It was nice having you here, and I will see. Oh, thank you guys for listening, and thank you for getting this far. If you watched the whole video, I'd love to hear your comments down below, and also you can DM me on my Instagram. I'll put it right here, or DM Lulu on her Instagram if you'd like to know more from her. I'll also put her Instagram here. No funny messages, just about this journey, okay? You know I'm always gonna say that part. But thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on my next video with my next guest. Bye.
Bye.